Hey, Money Magnets, I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, and if you're a coach, expert, or service-based business owner, you're in the right place to learn Law of Attraction strategies that will help you improve your client attraction and turn on your money magnetism so you can rapidly grow your business to six-figure plus success. In today's episode, you're going to learn 5 more of the top 30 money-making AffirMantras to manifest rapid business growth. And these AffirMantras are coming straight out of content from my book, I Am a Money Magnet. If you want free chapters of this book, go to IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com. IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com. You can get free chapters and, of course, order the book if you feel like it resonates with you, which I'm sure you will, especially after today's episode. So this episode is part of a 3-part series, and we're on part 3 today. So in the first part, episode 346 of the Law of Attraction for Business podcast, you learned how to use AffirMantras plus the inner power formula for business growth and money magnetism. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, number 346, you're going to want to go back and listen to it first because you'll want to understand how to use AffirMantras the right way to manifest rapid business growth and increase your money magnetism. So in that episode, I give you the breakdown of how the law of attraction works through magnetism and manifestation, how to turn on your law of attraction powers in order to attract easier money your way, and also just how to reprogram yourself for success. This isn't really only about money magnetism. It's about attracting what you want your way, being a deliberate creator of your reality, declaring what you want, taking action to get it, and having it come to you with ease and joy and flow and fun instead of struggle and stress and strain. So be sure to listen to episode 346 if you haven't yet. And then in episode number 347, I covered 5 of the top 30 money-making AffirMantras. And today I'm going to cover 5 more. And then that will wrap up this 3-part series. There are 30 AffirMantras in the book, along with 100 plus journaling questions to help you break through your unconscious money blocks. So if you're liking what you're getting in this episode or this 3-part series, you're definitely going to want to get the book. It will help you break through your unconscious money blocks, identify what they are, recognize them, and then apply my inner power formula to number 1, recognize, number 2, reframe, and number 3, repeat to program. Before we get into today's 5 AffirMantras that I want to highlight, I really want to remind you about the importance of repetition for subconscious reprogramming. So if you go back and listen to the beginning episodes of this podcast, you'll see that I've gone through several different names of the podcast, and the first name was Max Potential Habits. And the reason for that is because at the time I was really focused on habit formation and understanding how we as humans develop habits. And then as that moved me along my journey into reading more and more about the law of attraction and manifestation, I realized that habits are the key component of what you attract your way. My definition of habits is a repeated pattern of feelings, thoughts, decisions, and actions that over time become automatic. That's a habit, right? And when you have that habit, it gets stored in your subconscious mind. And whatever is stored in your subconscious mind is what you continue to attract your way because it's what you become in your state of being. Whatever you repeatedly think about, whatever you repeatedly feel, whatever you repeatedly do, that is who you become, right? So if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, a business owner who is able to say, hey, I want this thing, I set a goal, I'm going to take action on achieving it, and then it manifests, that's because you have the habits set up to do that. That's because you're repeating successful habits over and over again. And so everything I teach in my Law of Attraction for Business School and group coaching program on this podcast is all about helping you reprogram your subconscious mind and transform your habits so that you can magnetize success. easily because you've set up your state of being to do that. So again, I want to just reiterate, go to episode 346 to get a deeper dive on this conversation, and it also is broken down in the book. So the importance of repetition here is that it's impossible to create a habit without repetition. And realistically, it's also impossible to change a habit without repetition. For the most part, we need to unlearn what we've already learned because it's become habitual. And so it takes conscious awareness. And that's why the Inner Power formula, the first step is number one, to recognize, then reframe, then repeat to reprogram. If you aren't going to slow down enough to recognize, you're never going to change. You're going to keep getting the same outcomes over and over again. And I will say that this is one of the number one reasons that most people don't succeed. And I want you to succeed. I want you to be able to reprogram yourself for success. It requires a decision, commitment, recommitment, taking action, and reprogramming yourself for different habits. And that's what this is all about. If you want to be a money magnet, you want to be a client attraction magnet, you want to build a successful business and have a really holistically awesome life, you got to change yourself from the inside out. Your outer world's a reflection of your inner world. If you don't like what you're getting on the outside, change what's within. It takes recognition, reframes, and repetition. Then you can reprogram your subconscious mind and get different results. So that's really the basis, the foundation of everything I do, definitely the foundation of the book, and also the foundation of this 3-part series. So now let's break down the 5 AffirMantra I chose today to highlight from the book. So let's get started with AffirMantra number 12. And go back and listen to the previous 2 episodes to learn about AffirMantras and why I chose that term and what it actually means. So AffirMantra number 12 is, I know exactly what I want and I get it. Now this is on page 100 in the book, if you're reading along with me or want to refer to it later. I know exactly what I want and I get it. So my 3-step inner power manifestation formula is to decide with clarity and certainty what you want. That's number 1. Number 2, you're going to take action in the direction of what you want. And number 3, you're going to let the universe bring you opportunities and show you the way. So the key here is knowing exactly what you want. This sounds really easy, but it's not. Why? Because learning what you want is a process of gaining clarity. So I'm going to give you the example that I gave you in the book. This is really fun. Here's how it works. Imagine you went into the gourmet kitchen of Universal Delight. You can order anything you want. You sit down and the server asks for your order. You didn't make the time to think about what you want before sitting down, so you say, I'm not sure. Bring me the most popular dish on the menu. And I want you to just reflect here for a second. How many times in our life do we do that? We're not clear. We don't declare what we want. We're not decisive. We're uncertain. And so we just go like, let's kind of let things come our way. This would be you being a default creator. Now that's okay. And you'll learn why. So the server brings you your meal and you're disappointed because it's not to your liking. So you go back the next day and you order again. This time you order exactly what you want because based on getting what you didn't want yesterday, you now have clarity about what you do want. So this is how this works. According to the law of attraction, this process is known as the law of contrast. Without the experience of contrast, it is challenging to identify what you do want. So contrast is actually good because it tells you or helps you clarify what you do want. What's really important here is to recognize that you can speed up the manifestation process by deciding exactly what you do want. So when you drop your confusion, doubt, and uncertainty, also your scattered and unclear requests, you'll manifest more easily. So you're going to use this AffirMantra to remind yourself that the universe is waiting for you to ask with clarity and certainty for what you want so it can bring it to you immediately. Let's break this down even a little bit more. When we say, I know exactly what I want and I get it, that's a very powerful declarative statement. So you're making a declaration, you're setting clear conscious intention, and then it can come to you because you are in action to get it because you're so clear that it's what you want. You will automatically take action when you're clear about what you want because your desire is high, your why is high, you know that you want it, you believe it's possible to get, so you start taking action and then doors of opportunity open to you and show you how to get it or bring you the way to get it. When we don't know what we want, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And applied to business, this is very common in the earlier stages of a business. So let's say you're in the first year or a couple of years, you're in a discovery process. You're learning who your avatar is, how you like to work the best with people, what the market wants. You're learning marketing, you're learning business strategy, you're learning your own specific area of expertise. So there is a lot going on for you to experience the law of contrast to help you keep getting clearer and clearer, so that when you do sit down at that gourmet kitchen of universal delight, you can say exactly what you want. It's very rare that people just know exactly what they want right away in a new endeavor, because you've got to bump around a little bit to understand what is going on. Think about it when I've had this conversation with so many people when they go to college and they pick a major. So they declare a major, they go down the road and they start taking the classes and they're like, oh, this doesn't seem that fun. This isn't what I want to do. Or they graduate with a degree and all of a sudden they're in the work world and they're like, wow, this isn't really what I thought it would be. Same thing. You don't know until you get into the situation sometimes. And that's why we want to constantly be playing with my business profitability cycle, which is to create, test, refine, and scale. Create, test, refine, and scale. Part of the create, test, refine process is because of the law of contrast. You're creating something, you're putting it out into the world, you're marketing it, you're seeing what works and what doesn't work, you're refining based on that. And then once you figure out what is magnetic and what you enjoy doing, you scale it. And so don't beat yourself up if you don't know yet exactly what you want. Another roadblock here is often people will be afraid to say what they want because they have said what they wanted in the past and didn't get it. For some reason, they were blocked and they had energetic blockages, resistance that caused them not to attract what they say they wanted. And so they now believe, I can't get what I want. I'm not good at getting what I want. Manifestation doesn't work, or accomplishing my goals doesn't work. And so you've got to play with breaking down that limiting belief. It's not true. It's just what your perception is based on your history of experience. And anytime you're living in the past, thinking that the past has to keep recreating itself, of course you're going to keep recreating the past because that's what you believe to be true. You're always going to experience and attract what you believe to be true, whether it's conscious or subconscious. So you're going to get conscious through this book and the questions, and then hanging out with me on the podcast and in the Law of Attraction for Business School, you're going to get conscious about what you want. You're going to remove blockages so that you can say what you want and get it. That's powerful manifesting. Okay, so the journaling questions for this AffirMantra are: number 1, do you hold yourself back and limit what you want based on not getting it in the past? Why? And then number 2, get clear and describe exactly what you want in terms of financial freedom. So because this book is focused on money and money magnetism, you want to get clear on exactly what you want. Because we're focusing on manifesting rapid business growth today in these 5 AffirMantras, I want you to get clear on exactly what you want in terms of business growth, which I would imagine for most of you, it has to do with financial freedom. Choice freedom, time freedom. So you want to make money doing what you enjoy and reverse engineer your business from your chosen lifestyle. So you have your zone of genius, you're clear about that, you're making money in the world, and you go, okay, in 5 or 10 years or 20 years from now, how do I want my life to look? And start living it today to keep attracting that freedom to you, right? So get clear on what you want. Don't hold yourself back from your limiting beliefs of the past. If you're a victim of your history, you can never be a master of your destiny. That's what Dr. John Demartini says. If you're a victim of your history, you can never be a master of your destiny. And that is such a law of attraction statement, because you are going to play out whatever you believe to be true. If you're living in a past history of being a victim and feeling out of control, feeling like you don't have power, you're going to create a future of that. In the now, you want to get clear about what you want, allow yourself to receive it, allow yourself to take actions on it, give yourself permission to want what you want. Then you can start to attract because you're clear that that's what you want. So identify any doubts that you have about manifesting what you want and continue to use the inner power formula to reprogram yourself toward manifesting with ease. All right. right, let's look at AffirMantra number 13. This one is, I take inspired action and trust the universe to bring me opportunities. So let me recap again what the inner power manifestation formula is. Number 1, decide with clarity and certainty what you want. 2, take immediate action in the direction you want to go. 3, allow the universe to bring you opportunities and show you the way. When these steps are aligned, you will manifest money and business success with ease. When you're experiencing slow manifestation, the trick is to identify where you're stuck in that 3-step process. So in the last AffirMantra, the one we just covered, I know exactly what I want and I get it, you learn the importance of knowing what you want and dropping your uncertainty and doubt. That's the power of decision, clarity, and certainty, and it will generate inspired action because remember this is key. Action is evidence of belief. You will never take action if you don't have clarity or certainty. Action is evidence of belief. So if you are clear about what you want and 100% believe that it is possible to manifest, you will automatically take action. Now that you believe it, you know what you want, you're declaring it, you're taking action, the universe can open unplanned and unforeseen doors of opportunity because you're clear and taking inspired action. So I want you to think about the flip side of this. Procrastination is evidence of a lack of belief. You have unconscious or conscious doubt and uncertainty. So anytime you're procrastinating, you've got to do what it takes to get clear and decrease your doubt so that you can get into inspired action and the universe can bring you opportunities to fulfill your desired manifestations. So always remember, if you're procrastinating, it's telling you information about yourself. So if you slow down enough to recognize what it's telling you, it's either telling you, hey, you're not doing things that are aligned with your zone of genius, because if you were, you would automatically want to take action. Anytime you're in your zone of genius, you're going to take inspired action. If you're forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do, you're going to have to keep forcing yourself, which means that you have doubt and uncertainty. There's 2 parts to this. Sometimes procrastination has to do with that it's not aligned with your zone of genius. Sometimes it's that you're afraid because you don't really have a plan. You've never done this thing before, and so you're just not sure what to do. And so in that case, it increases your doubt and your uncertainty and your imposter syndrome. And so you want to get help to get clarity. This is where coaching comes in really powerfully. If you are inspired to build a business, you just don't know the steps to take, you're going to need to get help from a business mentor of some sort so that you can get the steps and then start taking action. If this is you, hang out with me, LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school, LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school. I have a 12-step roadmap to help you get to 6 figures in your business. I also have a group coaching option, all kinds of awesome stuff for you specifically to build your business and give you the roadmap to do it. Not only the energetic parts that you're getting in this podcast and in these episodes, you're also going to get the really practical, actionable steps to take so that you're not afraid without the roadmap. You're not sitting there guessing, I'm not sure what to do to build my business. I could give you the exact roadmap, the ones I use to go from food stamps to 6 figures in my business in the first year. So just remember, if you're procrastinating, you want to ask yourself like, is this because I'm afraid, or is it because I'm doing things that I hate doing? If you're doing things you hate doing, that is never going to create money magnetism or rapid business growth. You're going to be causing resistance. If it's because you're afraid, then you might need to get some help. So the questions here for this AffirMantra are, number 1, in terms of manifesting money, are you taking inspired action or stuck in procrastination? Number 2, if you're procrastinating, what beliefs do you need to reframe in order to increase your certainty? Number 3, do you trust the universe to bring you opportunities? If you don't, why not? And then number 4, scan your life course for evidence of the inner power formula working in your life, and then describe what happened. This will help you recognize that you have, anytime you've manifested something or accomplished a goal, you've actually done it through the inner power formula of recognizing, reframing, repeating to reprogram to get the goal. So in these reframes, if you're procrastinating, what beliefs do I need to reframe? It could be that you need to reframe what you're doing as a business owner and have it be more in alignment with your zone of genius. Or it could be that you need to reframe the idea that you've got to do it all yourself. Go hire somebody, invest in yourself to build your business. You'll get to from A to Z a lot more quickly when you get a roadmap. So consider those when you're answering these journaling questions for this AffirMantra. All right, now we're going to look at AffirMantra number 15. This is one of my favorites because my clients really love this one, and it speaks to our fear of sales. So this one is, I am water in the desert. I am water in the desert. And the story behind this, I came up with this story to illustrate this. So have you ever seen the movie 127 Hours starring James Franco? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie yet. It's a biographical drama about Aaron Ralston, a hiker who ventures into Canyonlands National Park in Utah. He doesn't tell anyone where he's going, and he ends up slipping and getting his arm wedged between the canyon wall and a boulder. He spends days stuck, dangerously close to dying from dehydration. Finally, he decides that his only way out is to cut off his own arm to free himself from the boulder so he can literally crawl to get help. As he's crawling miles out of the canyon, he runs into other hikers who give him water and call for a helicopter rescue, saving his life after 127 hours of being stranded. So if you haven't seen this movie, it is phenomenal. It's a true story about the power of survival and a perfect illustration about being quote unquote water in the desert for someone searching for help. Imagine if he hadn't run/crawled into the hikers who had water, he would have died. Literally, he would have died from dehydration, which is kind of wild. If you think about cutting off your arm, he wouldn't have died from that first. He would have died from dehydration. I want you to think about this being you. You are water in the desert for someone out there. They are wishing, praying, and hoping for someone like you to come into their world and provide a solution. Whether you're selling something as an entrepreneur, or perhaps, I know you're listening to this as a business owner, but maybe it's in your career. If you're looking to shine your light in your life or career, there's something about you that is special and unique. Just like being water in the desert for someone who's dehydrated, you are water in the desert for the people that you serve. There's only one of you. Own your power. Shine your light. Know that you are water in the desert for people you serve. So this really plays into sales and remembering my acronym for SELL, which is to share, empower, listen, and lead. When you're selling something, you are sharing, empowering, listening, and leading. So these all tie together because you're listening to what your 5-star avatar, your 5-star clients want and need. You're listening, you're sharing and empowering through leading them to your solutions. That's all that selling is. And when you take this approach, I am water in the desert for somebody who is suffering. If I don't help them, that's how I want you to think about what you offer the world as a service-based entrepreneur. I know that when you've had people tell you, oh, you're the answer to my prayers. When you finish with a client and they are singing your praises and they're telling you that their life would be worse off without you, that's you being water in the desert. And I promise you that there are enough people out in the world who are searching right now for what you offer. And there's no lack, there's no limit, there's no scarcity, there's no need to feel this fear of competition or, why me? Why am I special? Or there's already so many people doing this. Who cares? They're not doing your specific version of what you do. You are water in the desert. In truth, when you think about what it takes to have a successful business, you don't need that many customers or clients to support your life, to support financial freedom. You just need to bring really awesome value to people who are seeking what you offer and know that you're water in the desert and shout it out loud and proud what you do so that you can provide solutions for your people in win-win exchanges, being water in the desert. So that is what this one is all about. I am water in the desert. And if you're using starter statements, like we talked about how important it is to use AffirMantras in a way that your brain 100% believes it to be true, instead of saying I am water in the desert, you could say I am committed to being water in the desert for the people who need what I offer. I love it when I am water in the desert. It feels good when I am water in the desert. I feel myself attracting people to serve from my unique superpowers. And that has to do with the journaling questions for this AffirMantra. Describe what's unique about you and how you make money in the world. So what superpower solutions do you provide? And then number 2, describe how you feel when you're sharing your gifts at work or in building your business. And then number 3, own your power. Write down at least 3 positive reviews you've received about how you show up at work or as an entrepreneur. So this is boosting your confidence, helping you see your superpowers, helping you own your power and your uniqueness so that you can shine your light and be water in the desert for the people in the world that you are attracting your way right now. All right. AffirMantra number 22. This one's on page 140, and it is, I am a master of my time, so my money flows and grows with ease. Oh, this one. I could do an entire weekend workshop on this AffirMantra because time mastery is so incredibly important. Wow. And it is something that entrepreneurs can struggle with because there is a lot to do as an entrepreneur. And typically we tend to think that in order to be successful, we need to keep adding things to our plate, when often it's just that you need to redefine how you spend your time. So in this one, I outline my productivity definition, which is maximum results in the minimum amount of time, maximum profits with the least amount of effort, maximum joy with the least have-tos. So that's how you want to think about productivity. And I outline a story about how every day you get 1,440 minutes invested into your life account of time. Time is more valuable than money because you cannot get it back. It can never be replaced. So you've got to become a master of your time, which really means becoming a master of yourself. We can't say manage time because there's no such thing as managing time because you can't make more time. There's the same amount of time for every person every day until you die. And I know this is harsh, but it's true. So mastering your time means that you are actually mastering yourself. You are becoming a person who lives in your zone of genius, fulfills your highest values, and becomes a productivity master. Again, maximum results in the minimum amount of time, maximum profits with the least amount of effort, and maximum joy with the least have-tos. So you are learning to use your time wisely. I always like to remind people here that we all have the exact same amount of time every day, yet some people make billions of dollars and scale really successful businesses in 24 hours a day, and some people struggle and strain and stress. What's the difference between those people? It's their state of being, their belief system, their actions, how they think and feel about time and about themselves that causes that difference. So if you believe that what you bring to the world can be valued in the billions of dollars, you will become a billionaire. If you bring that amount of value to the world, you have the power to become a mega millionaire, a multimillionaire, a billionaire. Really, the sky is the limit as an entrepreneur. That is such an awesome gift. If you believe that you aren't worthy and you don't know what you're doing and why would people buy my stuff and you don't abide by I am water in the desert and you push away success because you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to bring a lot of value to the world because you're so consumed by your self-doubt and your imposter syndrome. And that's why you're not making the money that you want to make as a rapid business growth, law of attraction business master, right? Don't beat yourself up if this is you. Just learn to reframe your belief system. Learn to reframe your habits. Use this book. Use my Law of Attraction for Business School to help you reprogram yourself for success. Anyone can do this, I promise you. When I started my company, I had a ton of self-doubt problems, low self-confidence. I was really codependent in relationships. I struggled with money. I struggled with public speaking. I struggled with all the things. I really did not like myself and I beat myself up with my inner critic voice all the time. And so when I started implementing what I was learning in terms of confidence and overcoming codependency and money magnetism, and it led me down the road to learning more and more about the law of attraction, I realized, oh, anyone can learn how to be confident. It's a skill set. If you're not born that way and people don't teach you across your life course, you just got to learn it. You can become very confident. You can become a money magnet. You can become a person who brings value to the world in the whatever amount of money that you choose to. It's about your belief system and how you use your time. And how you use your time is a reflection of how much you value yourself. Billionaires value themselves so much they don't waste time because they value themselves and their time is worth so much money, right? So that's how you got to start treating yourself in order to attract flow your way. So the questions here: identify how you spend your time by making a list of all the things you do during an average quote unquote work week. Number 2, describe how you feel about time. For example, are you rushed, overwhelmed, thinking there's never enough, or are you relaxed, in control, and there's plenty of time? 3, do you use your time productively as defined in this AffirMantra, yes or no? And if the answer is no, what can you drop, automate, or delegate? You've probably heard me say this before. You need to DAD your system. Drop, automate, delegate. This will help you get aligned in a state of joy so you can master your time and magnetize money. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's look at AffirMantra number 29. This one's on page 168. And of course, there are a ton of golden nuggets in between AffirMantra 22 and 29. And we're just going to cover 5 today, and then you can get the book to get the rest. AffirMantra number 29. I attract financial abundance from my aligned state of being. Now remember, back in episode 346, I covered state of being and how that associates with the Law of Attraction 101 and how it works. So go back there if you haven't listened to that yet. In this AffirMantra, here's what I break down. A common point of resistance when manifesting money is that people, quote unquote, try to manifest backwards. And I say try because trying equals struggling. You're not manifesting what you set out to manifest. So if you hear yourself say trying, this is a clue that you are struggling and you have a subconscious stuckness. So play with reframing that word to I am learning to, instead of saying I'm trying to make more money in my business, or I'm trying to rapidly grow my business. Instead, you would say I am learning how to make easier money. I am learning how to grow my business. I'm committed to growing my business. I'm committed to making more money. I'm committed to doing what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur, right? So instead of trying, reframe that word, because you're telling yourself it's not going to work because you're creating resistance and struggle. So then let's talk about operating from these 2 fallacies of resistance when you're manifesting backwards. So this is what most people do. Number 1, they think, once I have all the things I want, I'll be happy and get to do what I want. Or number 2, they think, if I do the hard work, I'll have all the things I want and then I'll be happy. As you've learned throughout this book, you are the source and the first cause. As the source, it's your energetic state of being, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that make up your beingness. And your beingness is what attracts money and abundance your way. So it's missing the mark to believe that once you have something outside of you, you'll be happy and then get to do what you want to do. Because you are the source that attracts happiness and prosperity. It's your energetic state of being that is the first cause, not the other way around. So it's backwards to think that you can do hard work and have something outside of you cause you to be happy. You can never compensate through hard work for what you're missing in energetic alignment. I'm going to say that again because it's very powerful. You can never compensate through hard work for what you're missing in energetic alignment. Why? Because you attract your outer world reality from your inner state of being. If you are stressed out in the now, you're going to be stressed out in the future. The things you work hard to have will not magically change your inner state of stress to happiness. Said another way, wherever you go, there you are. Oh, this is so critical because I see so many entrepreneurs having this backwards. They go have, be, do, or do, have, be, instead of be, do, have. And Law of Attraction 101 is be, do, have. You attract from your state of being. So it's impossible to get a happy ending to a miserable journey. That's what Abraham Hicks says. I like to say it's impossible to get a successful ending to a stress-filled journey. And that's what I see so many entrepreneurs doing. They think, oh my God, I'll just work harder to create freedom down the road. It's impossible to create freedom when you feel unfulfilled, stressed out, overwhelmed, and in a prison of your own making in the now. You can't get a different ending to the current moment reality, right? So you've got to start changing yourself right now to attract financial abundance from your aligned state of being. So how you're going to do this is start asking yourself these questions. Number 1, describe your energetic state of being. So that's your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings. So your state of being is your thoughts, beliefs, feelings. And I want you to describe them on an average day over the course of a week. And be really brutally honest with yourself here. Lying to yourself is going to do you no good. So if you're 90% of the time you feel overwhelmed and stressed out, then know that you're writing your future of being overwhelmed and stressed out. Don't beat yourself up about this. Instead, start to hang out with me more and reframe your beliefs and your state of being so that you can get a different outcome. Number 2, is this energetic state of being aligned with financial abundance? We could also ask, is it aligned with rapid business growth that feels good? Am I aligned right now for getting a future of happiness? If you're not happy in the now, you're not going to have happiness in the future. It's not magically going to change. I'm going to give you an example here real quick. We all know people, including myself, I've tried to do this in the past, where I'd be unhappy in my situation and I would think there was an outside fix. So, we could use my really harsh example of having an affair. I left my 15-year marriage having an affair, and I wanted to escape that relationship. And so I had an affair. I left my 15-year marriage, and of course the next relationship didn't work. Why? Because that person wasn't the fix for my misery. I am the fix for my misery. And so it took years for me in this tumultuous next relationship to recognize that I was the common denominator and that I needed to change, right? Outer world reflection, the inner world. If you don't like what you're getting on the outside, change what's within. Once I started to change, now my relationship started to change. Now I'm happily married to my best friend, my soulmate, someone I love deeply, who is an awesome human being because that's who I've become. And, not to boast, I've worked hard on myself. I have every single day I practice what I preach, right? I do what I'm talking about here. I love personal growth and development because I finally am liberated from the hell that I had created for myself before. Now I get to wake up in the morning and enjoy my life because I have reprogrammed myself for that. So that person that I thought would fix all my problems did not. Of course, he wasn't the solution. I'm the solution. My ex-husband wasn't the problem. I was the problem. He was just a reflection of my inner world thinking, right? So you can't escape the reality you're in. You want to choose to recreate it by you changing. You're the common denominator in every single thing you're experiencing right now. So you want to be asking yourself, is my energetic state of being aligned to attract financial abundance? Is my energetic state of being aligned to attract easy business growth? If it's not, what are 3 things you can do to start up-leveling, reframing your state of being? And you want to do that first before you take action, because remember, you can't compensate through hard work for what you're missing in energetic alignment, which is what most people try to do. They just think, I'll work harder to get this to change. And they just keep creating a prison and a repetitive pattern of stress. And we don't want that. We want to have abundance, flow, ease, joy. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So that is the review of 5 more AffirMantras from the book. If you don't have the book, again, go to IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com. IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com. You can get free chapters and also buy the book there. There are over 100 journaling questions and awesome AffirMantras to help you reprogram yourself. In addition, if you're liking what you're getting here, you're definitely going to want to be a part of the Law of Attraction for Business School. So just go to LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school. The links are all in the show notes. And you can join my 7-day free trial. In this program, I give you daily lessons. So daily audio lessons that are short and meant to help you reprogram yourself on a daily basis. So they're Law of Attraction based for business owners. And then you also get weekly workshops with me live, and then also monthly coaching sessions, plus so much more. It's an incredible program, 7-day free trial, LawOfAttractionForBusiness.school. So let's recap the 5 AffirMantras for today. Number 12, I know exactly what I want and I get it. Say that to yourself right now. I know exactly what I want and I get it. Or I prefer to know exactly what I want and get it. AffirMantra number 13, I take inspired action and trust the universe to bring me opportunities. You could also say, I have decided to take inspired action and trust the universe to bring me opportunities. AffirMantra number 15, I am water in the desert. You could say, I enjoy being water in the desert, or I am learning to be water in the desert. AffirMantra number 22, I am the master of my time, so my money flows and grows with ease. You could say, I choose to be the master of my time, so my money flows and grows with ease. You could say, I choose to have my money flow and grow with ease, so I am the master of my time. I choose to grow my business, so I've decided to become the master of my time. There's some variations for you on that one to have your brain 100% believe it to be true. AffirMantra number 29, I attract financial abundance from my aligned state of being. I am ready to attract financial abundance from my aligned state of being. Just say that to yourself right now. I am ready to attract financial abundance from my aligned state of being. Oh, yeah. I wish I was in your office or car or on the running trail, wherever you are right now listening to this, so I could give you jumping money magnet high fives and tell you how awesome you are. Thanks so much for being here with me today. And until the next episode, I'm sending you giant hugs and money magnet high fives.